Okay guys, we are back with Old World Wednesday. As you guys know, I dedicate one of my videos absolutely every single week to the pursuit of the old world, helping the community to grow, help people get more comfortable getting their armies painted, and generally trying to keep the excitement up for the game, which is my favorite by far. Now, this week I'm going to be jumping back on the Bretonnian train because previously I did a video on Jean le Joueur, which is the mascot miniature. He's a very old Bretonnian miniature. He's like riding on a fake horse and stuff like that. He's basically a jester. Well, I talked in that video extensively that he is actually part of a duo. He is the private jester of a character called Tristram the Troubadour, who is this kind of awesome bard character. He has a whole big beautiful backstory, but I did not own him at the time. Somebody saw this video and said, that's not okay, let me send you a Tristram. So they did that, and now I'm getting that model built and painted for you guys in today's video. So let me show you how I did it. Okay guys, so here is the original miniature that I did, the Jules le Jongleur model, the Jester. He was beautiful, he was so much fun to do. Obviously I went back and had a look at some of the clips of that video, figure out paint scheme and what colors I was using to make sure he matched in properly. And remember that the whole reason I did that video previously was because I was having a really bad time trying to paint something else. And I just dropped everything and decided to do a fun model that I really wanted to paint. And then that was that guy. So in the same vein, I'm now painting up this guy. I'm thoroughly looking forward to this. It is another one of those pieces that I really wanted to have in my Bretonnian collection. And now after today, I'm finally going to have one fully painted and ready for the tabletop. Because like I've said a few hundred times before, at heart, the main reason that I love this is I am a collector. I love to have my miniatures in cabinets, whole collections on display, all fully painted, looking well. Like when I retire in many, many years to come, the goal will be to create something like Warhammer World in my head where I can display everything and have huge collections of models and stuff like that. So it's a lofty goal, but I think goals should be lofty and hopefully one day I will get there. Okay, the model was of course sprayed black and then sprayed a light grey zenithal as tradition for me and my miniatures. And then I start the process of applying contrast paints to base coat the model in. So obviously we did the Black Templar contrast for all the black areas, and we're going to use the red contrast for the kind of opposite sides of this. This is not his true color scheme. I think he's supposed to be yellow and blue. But because I didn't have this guy at the time when I painted the Jester, and I decided to make the Jester blend in with some of the other models I did in my army, I'm just going to paint up Tristan the same color as those and have him blend in. It's a really nice color scheme. It's the traditional, or now the traditional Bretonnian scheme, the red and black. And obviously it works on the box art and all those models look amazing, so I don't see any reason why this guy won't look just as good in those schemes. He is of course one of the oldest models in my Bretonnian collection now. He predates when I started playing Bretonnians like 20 years ago. He's even older than those. So he was a funny one to come across. He's quite expensive on eBay, so I feel very blessed that someone very kindly sent me to it. A big thank you to that gentleman that did send me this miniature to get built and painted. I'm not going to say any names in case he doesn't want any names being said, but if he wants to comment down below who it was, you can all thank him there. But it was a seriously nice gesture. And obviously there's a couple of other quite rare Bretonnian pieces that I would like to have in my collection. The next one I'm going to kind of like pinpoint, get my eye on and try and get my hands on is basically she's Joan of Arc. They did a Joan of Arc miniature. She does have a different name. I can't really say her name because it's super French. Rapunzel de Lioness, I think. I'm sure I butchered that beyond belief. But if you want to check her out, she's also an incredible figure that I hope to one day have in my collection. She would definitely not be a knight that would join a unit. She would definitely be a Bretonnian lord, and she would lead entire hosts into battle. Okay, getting some more base coats on this. After we got the black and red, we did the brown for all of the straps, the saddle, bridle, all those kind of bits and pieces. Got done with that. Then we're going in with our lead belcher silver for all of the chainmail, the armored helmet, tip of the lance, you know, rein bits, and you know, the bit that goes in the horse's mouth. I don't know what that's called. All those bits and pieces are going to get done with silver. Obviously, one of the things that I decided to do, even though the guy did send me the original horse for this miniature, it was one of the older Bretonnian horses, which none of my other models are on. So I grabbed one of the newer style horses and I put him on that, and I think he looks really good on it. Gives me access to those shield things in the quarters, which means I can throw some transfers on it later on, add a little bit more flair. The old Bretonnian horses didn't have those kind of designs. So the whole idea was you're supposed to like freehand designs and stuff all over them. And that's not my style. It's not my jam. I want models to be easy to paint and look good with a few simple techniques, including adding transfers. Okay, time to add gold. Now I went a little bit overboard with the gold on purpose. So obviously I did the shield, but obviously all the little kind of shield emblems on the ends of all the leather straps. Pretty much all the other models I did those in silver. But this guy is a jester blessed by the lady. He travels around different keeps and does kind of, you know, musical ceremonies and stuff like that. So he is well paid for his services. He is not a broke knight. So I think he can have a little bit more dolled up horse, a little bit more flash armor. I think that would be definitely his style. So I added a little bit more gold in places than normal. I added Agros dunes to things like his hair and his lute. And I added some Gulliman flesh to his face and his hands. After that, the whole model get washed with Nuln oil. As you can see, I left the shield and the horse the color that I sprayed it, because I decided to do those in like an off-white scheme, which means the light gray I did plus the wash plus a little bit of a layer later on will make it look perfect. So I can just leave it like this during the base coat stage. As you guys know, I am trundling through a million different videos for the old world. I do one a week. That's 52 old world videos a year just for you guys. And obviously there's so many different things that I want to do, and I also don't know exactly what the community needs right now. So I am always, and I mean always, open to suggestions for what you guys would like to see for old world videos. So please do not be shy in commenting down below what old world army model character you would like to see. The odds are I own it, and I could definitely do a video for it. While you're down there writing that comment, make sure you do two other things, and that is give this video a like and make sure you're subscribed. Those three things cost you absolutely nothing, but they make a huge difference as to how many people see these videos and how quickly the channel grows. So that would be a great favor to me to do that. If you want to help support the channel even further, there's a couple of other ways you can do it, namely a Patreon campaign and of course a YouTube membership thing. So you can check those out linked down below. You get a couple of benefits for being a member of either of those two things. Main one being an extra video every single week just for you guys, and access to a private Discord server where you can talk to me on a daily basis about your hobby, get inspired, take part in different events that we have, like painting competitions or community showcases or stuff like that. Those are two awesome reasons to get involved, and check it out, like I said, linked down below. If you're also a big purchaser like I am, we have a couple of affiliate links down below for places like Element Games and My Hobby Place. And if you place orders with them, you usually save around 15 to 20% off of your orders, like Games Workshop pricing. And then also the channel gets a little bit of kickback as well. So those are the different ways that you can help sort me out. If you want to feel like doing any of those things, like I said, they're all linked below. Let's get back to finishing off this awesome Bretonnian night. So after the shade was dry, we did do Corvus Black to layer the black side of things, which is a very quick and simple thing, and it's not something that grabs the eye is the black, it's mostly the red. So we're going to put a little bit more attention in on the red, going from Fiston into Evil Sun Scarlet as your highlights, which is going to make it that really nice poppy red, which is the same colors I used on the Jester, so they match in really well. Celestra Gray was used as a highlight for the shield patterns and then also the entire horse. Celestra Gray is a beautiful off-white color, so although it is in no way, shape, or form white, because there is no true white anywhere near it, your eyes kind of perceive it as white, and it definitely passes the test for that. It looks really nice, really standoutish. And of course, if I decide to deploy this guy in, let's say, another unit of Knights of the Realm that are painted in that red and black scheme, well, their shields are quartered red and black with the white axe, which means that he won't kind of blend in and disappear into that unit. He will stand out as a unique character and be treated as, I don't know, the sergeant or the general of that squad or whatever you want to do. Catachan Flesh layering up all of the leathers, which is, I don't know, like a trade secret that I do. Catachan Flesh makes an absolutely beautiful brown leather highlight color. It is one of those like forgotten colors because it's it's one of the newer paints out by Games Workshop. The last time they did an increase in the paint range by adding like 20-30 paints, it was one of them, and it sometimes gets forgotten because it's really good. With the skin, all I did was Acadian flesh tone. I did decide to go for my Berserker blood shade over the top to add a little bit more warmth back into it, and then Kislev flesh over the top of that when it was fully dry on the very tips, cheeks, to highlight the skin and finish it off. What I will say, if I'm being brutally honest, is Tristram does not have a very beautiful face. It looks kind of like a mashed potato. Like I said, it was sculpted so many years ago when the standards for sculpting were a little bit more relaxed. Obviously, it was freehand. This was a green stuff sculpt that somebody did. So although I still very much enjoyed painting it, the result for his face isn't the best. And I think it would take a very talented painter to add in kind of shadows where they don't belong and sharpen up details and make Tristram into a handsome boy. But I just did what I normally did, and the result is the result. You can be the judge as to whether you think the face looks okay or whether it's a little bit odd. I think his mouth is in a gaped open position because it's supposed to simulate the idea that he is singing as he's going along, as he is a troubadour or a bard or whatever you want to do. But it does kind of look a bit weird. I think the model is really coming along now. We're coming into kind of like the final stretch. We're going to do a couple more details. I'm finally going to break out the Bretonnian transfer sheet that Games Workshop sold. Very expensive transfer sheets. I don't know if they're actually worth it or not. But the stupid collector in me has been going through and purchasing them after they've been coming out. Even with me trying to get them, I have missed one or two. I have 4 of them currently. And the Bretonnian one is one I've had the longest, and I haven't cut a single piece out from it yet. So I decided this is a unique model. I might as well cut out some cool transfers, get them glued on, get them stuck on, and hope that they stand out really nice on that kind of whitish background. Before I do that, of course, I'm highlighting all the metallics, and I'm using a bright silver for that. So Ironbreaker is used, and we just very carefully highlight all those different details, which really does make all the metallics pop on the model. So this is said Bretonnian transfer sheet. And as you can see, it does contain many beautiful designs. And I decide which ones to do. I decided to go for these. They're kind of like stylized fleur-de-lis with like a gold star in the middle. Looks pretty cool. Some people may think I'm crazy here, but I'm applying flock with super glue. I know it's a bit weird, but all you do is put a few blobs super glue on, sprinkle some grass tufts on, push it down, and give it a little tap from behind so it stands up. And then that grass tuft is stuck in place. It takes absolutely no time whatsoever, and you will have a beautifully flocked miniature, and that flock will never go anywhere. It is stuck for life on the model, and it looks really good. Here he is next to his beautiful jester. That completes this magical duo. Like I said, I'm really happy to have these in my collection. This, obviously, I want to try and get my hands on the Joan of Arc character. And then after that, of course, there's the Robin Hood collection. I can't remember their Bretonnian names as well, but they did like Robin Hood characters. And I really need to find a way of getting my hands on those as well to get them painted up for a video. So hopefully sometime soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one.